sit in lotus if that's something comfortable for you. And just take a few moments in stillness and, bring yourself to your space and to this morning of practice. Hands can be on top of your thighs, palms down or palms up. And just close the eyes and start to gaze down to the tip of the nose and start to feel the filling up of the belly, the ribs, and the chest as you start the inhalation. And as you exhale, let everything release and gentle drawing of the navel point to the spine. And then the process begins over and over again as the body kind of lets you know. So it's very intuitive. It lets you know when it's time to take the next breath in and when it's time to let go of the breath you've got. And as you slow down the breath and you slow down the thoughts, and so that monkey mind, that chatter, that constant chitta, so the breath guides us into some stillness. Good morning. Oh, hi, Maria. Hi. So we're just sitting in a comfortable seated position if you're just coming on. And then bring your hands to your heart center, touch your thumbs to your heart, and tuck your chin towards your chest. And settle in for some sort of an intention or a thought, a desire, a wish, a mantra. And carry that with you through the practice, and perhaps carry it with you through your day. And as they say, it couldn't hurt. And then just fold forward. Release your hands in front of you. Walk the arms out and push the hips back. Don't worry how far you go out. Just get the stretch. Just start to feel the feeling of releasing the lower back a little bit. You can move side to side like I'm doing, just a little bit of a sway. And when you're ready to settle in, just find a little peace in the center. Again, don't worry about how far you go out. Worry about how it feels to you. Is it the right amount of stretch? Is it too much? Is it too little? Inhale, rise onto your fingertips and just take it over to your left side. Keep your right hip grounded. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then, see if you can put a little bit more movement to the torso, turning a little bit more to the left side. Inhale, rise onto the fingertips, take it through center to the other side. Push your hip back, shoulders down, and then that little extra rotation through the torso. Inhale, come back onto the center. Exhale, walk your hands back in, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, lean back, shake out your legs. Switch the cross of the legs. It's usually your more habitual side that you start with. So put the other leg in front. Take your hands back on top of your thighs. Shoulders down, heart lifts. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest and roll back away from your sitting bones. Pull the belly into the spine. Really big scoop out of the abdomen. Inhale, lift your chest up. Hinge forward. And let's do that again. Round and curl. Pull the belly in. Inhale, lift and extend. And then start to make some circles. Use your hands to guide you. Use your shoulder. Let your shoulders go. And reverse that. Come back into the center. And reach your fingertips out to the sides of your room. Take your right ear to your right shoulder, let the shoulder come down. Take your right hand and gently guide the ear towards the shoulder as the left arm stays either on the floor or perhaps reaches out to the side a little bit more. Bring your chin to your right collarbone. Nice long stretch behind the head. Take your left arm and just bring it up your back. So in between your shoulder blades. Lift your head up. And take your right arm up behind your head. Don't worry if your hands touch or are nowhere near each other. You don't need the strap right now. It's just a little morning stretch. Maybe we'll revisit it later. So trying to get your right elbow towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold forward. So again, you don't have to, if your fingers touch easily, great. If they don't stress about it. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release the arms. Sweep them back out to the side. Lean your left ear to your left shoulder. Take your left hand, gently guide it down. And right arm just walks out to the side or perhaps lifts off the floor. Reach out. And then take your right arm behind your back, in between your shoulder blades, with your, you got your fingers up or your palm open, whatever, kind of goes there. Then lift your head up and bring your left arm behind your head and just, acknowledge to yourself that one side is different than the other, and that's normal. But again, it doesn't matter if you can touch your hands or not. Take a breath. And then fold forward as you exhale. Hips stay grounded, but you got a nice release into the hip. Inhale, lift your torso up, come all the way up to sitting. Release your arms, this time stretch them overhead. Exhale, left hand outside, right thigh, right arm behind you towards the left hip. Relax the shoulders down, tuck your chin towards your shoulder, your collarbone. Inhale, stretch the right arm up and lean to the left side. Still grounding the right hip. Exhale, right hand outside, left thigh. Left arm moves behind you towards the right hip. Inhale, and twist a little deeper, exhale. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, sweep your left arm up, lean over to the right side. And exhale, this time take your hands on top of your thighs. Sit up tall and then release the arms and walk the arms forward. Notice if you feel a little bit more release the side or just in general because your back's a little bit warmer. Inhale, walk your hands back in. Take your blocks if you're on a block, under your knees or under your hips, and just remove them from wherever you are. Lean back, shake out your legs, and put your feet on the floor, the width of your mat, and just windshield wiper your legs from side to side. And let's make our way back to the center. Send your legs off to either side. Come to your hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck your toes, dip your belly, arch your back. Exhale, round and curl. Push the earth away, round your spine, pull your tailbone underneath you. Inhale, arch your back, walk your hands a little bit further. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, extend your spine, walk your hands a little further. Exhale, round and curl without moving your hips off of your knees, right? So you're staying where you are with your hips, we're just moving the arms forward. Walk the arms a little bit more forward, round and curl. And extend, and if your arms are long enough that if you place them on the floor, they're in a good position, or you can keep them off or walk them forward until you are in the right position. Inhale, shift your shoulders now over your elbows. Tuck your toes underneath you and send your legs behind you. Pull the belly up and in, and just from the top of the head to the tailbone, long. If I were to sit on your back right now, you wouldn't collapse. That's how strong you are. Inhale and shift a little forward. Lower your hips to the floor. Open your legs the width of your mat. And just come into a wide-legged Sphinx pose, but soften your glutes. Inhale and exhale. Point your toes away from you. Good. Bend your knees and reach your heels towards your buttocks. They may go close, they may be nowhere in the vicinity. Point your toes towards the ceiling and pull your heart up. And then exhale, windshield wiper your legs. If being up on your forearms just starts to get a little tiring for your back, go down to your belly. And then come back onto the center. Release your legs. Release your head onto your hands. Turn your toes in pigeon-toed. and just rock your hips from side to side. Point your toes back. And this time release your arms down by your side. Turn your palms to the floor. Lift your chest up, keep your legs down. Reach your fingers back and perhaps off the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then grab a hold of your hands, palms together, knuckles back. Lift your heart up. Good, one more breath here, or lift your legs up for 3, 2, hi Maria, 1, and let everything go. Take your hands by your chest, push your hips to your heels, child's pose. Inhale, rise up to your hands and knees and send your right foot in between your 2 hands. Hands on the blocks or the floor. Let your hips come down. So right knee over the ankle. Left hip is sinking down. Breathe in, breathe out. Press firmly through your feet. Lift yourself up, bring your hands on top of your thigh. Exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale, stretch your right arm, right up over your head. Take the right arm behind your head. Take the left arm behind your back. Still don't worry about grabbing your hands or not, and sink your hips down. Lift out of your pelvic floor. Exhale. Good. Inhale, chin to chest, and fold over your right leg. Nice stretch for your tricep, but it may be extreme for some. Pull the belly in, hug the right hip to the center. Inhale, lift your torso up. Exhale, release the arms down by your side, palms open. Kind of like we just did on our belly. Spread your fingers. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor blocks. And send your right knee back to your left knee. Push back to child's pose for a breath. Inhale, return to your hands and knees. Step your left foot in between your 2 hands. Right knee behind you, left knee over the ankle, top of the back foot and shin on the floor. Broaden through your collarbones and breathe. Inhale, place your hands on your thighs, lift your torso, drop your shoulders. Stretch your left arm up over your head, bend the arm. Reach between your shoulder blades, take your right arm, reach behind your back, towards your fingers, or some of you will grab your fingers. Keep pulling that right hip down. Take a breath. Hi, Daisy. Chin to chest, round and curl, forehead to knee, elbow towards the floor, wherever you are. Breathe. Trying not to collapse and really hugging that left hip in for stability. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your arms, stretch the fingers down, open up the heart. Try to bring the ribs down so you're not pushing out in the ribs. That means you're usually dumping into your lower back, so ribs to hips, pelvic floor lifts. Inhale, release your hands to the floor. Tuck your right toes underneath you this time. Step into downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Bend one knee, then the other. And then settle into your down dog. Inhale, onto your tippy toes. Exhale, lift your left leg high in the sky, left leg. Exhale, send your left foot in between your hands and take a quarter turn to your right side. Now if you have a towel or strap, grab it. Lengthen your spine. You can also have your block sitting in the middle of your 2 sides. Hands can be on the block, the floor, back is flat. And you're sending your weight a little forward to your toes, but you're not lifting your heels, so you're still grounded on both sides. And then there's that slight or more bend in the knee. Inhale, left hand stays on the floor, right hand moves to your hip, lengthen your spine. My hand's on the block, you can choose either side. Either turn your torso to the right, take your right arm behind your back and you can grab into the inner thigh of the left leg. See right here if you can keep your hips a little bit more level by drawing the right hip middle down. Release your hand, turn your torso square. Exhale, fold all the way down. Head down to the floor or the blocks, hands right underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, left hand to your hip, behind your back. Lengthen your spine, rotate your torso, and here you can start hugging the left hip to the midline, and then some of you might bind your left arm behind your back. And the tendency is to shift the left hip out to the side, so keep it as centered as you can. Good, if you're bound, release it. Bring the hand back down to the block. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in between your two legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. If you have a strap or a towel, grab it, bring your hands to your hips and rise up. Okay. All right, so you can hold the strap. It doesn't have to be hooked up. It could just be loose. Take the strap in your right, or the towel in your right hand. If you don't have it, just do it without the strap. Or you can hold onto your shirt. Take your left arm, turn the palm open and away, and then slide it up your back and grab a hold of your strap. Inhale. If you have two sides of the strap, grab two sides. And exhale. Lift out of your torso and lean over to your left side. Hug your hips to the center. Rotate your torso open. And then inhale, return to the center. Exhale, release your strap, release your arms. Take your strap, if you're holding onto a strap, hold it wide. Wider than your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, arms come back wherever they go. Some of you will get all the way down. If you have the strap wide enough, you'll be able to get all the way down, most of you, many of you. If not, that's okay. Wrap the strap in your hands so your arms come closer. If not, hold on to your opposite elbows, fingers, or more. Lift your chest up. And then forward fold, softening the knees and bring the arms back off of your back, head down towards the floor. Again, no judgment of how deep you go into this stretch with your arms or your back, your legs. So the head hangs down, shake out your head, yes or no. Press down firmly through your legs, come up halfway. Lengthen your spine all the way up to standing. And keep the strap in your left hand. Inhale, bring your left arm up behind your back. Right hand, palm turns away and comes up your back. Reaching for your shirt, your strap, your hand, your towel. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lean over to the right side. I don't know about you, but it feels really good to me. Pressing firmly into your feet so your legs are strong. It's like you're squeezing your inner thighs together and at the same time, pushing your outer hip out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the strap. Hold it in both hands wide. And again, if you don't have it, just open your arms wide. Lift your chest and open your arms out. You can use a belt, anything. And then come back, bring your hands closer together, lift your chest up, forward fold one more time, release the arms away from the body, shift the weight into the balls of the feet, the head comes down to the floor. Shake out your neck, yes and no. Inhale, start to bring yourself all the way up to standing. Release the strap, bring it down to the floor, take it off to the side, and place your hands on your hips. So just notice if your feet are parallel to each other. Take your right toes, so your back toes, most likely, to the right side. Now, as I do that, the left hip kind of bumps up. So put your hands on your hips and see if you can level out the pelvis. You can also have a block coming near you. Reach your arms out shoulder height and right on top of your ankles. Inhale, lengthen through your torso. Exhale, now bump your left hip out as the length stays in the torso. Reach out and take your right arm down, inside, outside, foot, shin, or block. If you want to block, high height on the outside of the shin or ankle calf is a nice placement for it. Let's take our left hand on our left shoulder for a moment. You can point the elbow up or just keep it neutral. And then just begin to open up the torso. Then stretch the left arm in the air. Lift out of your waistline. So as you lift your arm to the ceiling and you press your feet to the floor, you rotate through your torso. Lift. Look down at your right toes. Inhale, if you have the block, bring it with you. Come up to standing. Turn your right toes to the left, 1/4 turn. Take the block in your left hand. Turn your left toes to the left. Put your hands on your hips. You can put the block outside of your left foot if you only have one block. So now again, so my right hip wants to hike up a little bit. I'm going to put my hands on my hips to just feel the leveling out of the pelvis. Then stretch the arms out shoulder height. They should be on top of your ankles, not so your feet shouldn't be too short. Right toes are turned, 2 o'clock on a clock on the wall. Bump your hips to the right as you have the length in the torso. Reach out. Left arm, inside, outside, foot, shin, or block. Right hand to your shoulder. Open up your torso. So I don't know if you guys can hear this music. You at home can't unless you put on the video. I just found out this girl is my neighbor after 27 years. Right arm up in the air. It's only a Grammy-winning song. Lauren, you might know. Maybe she's been in the store. Who knows? Open up your torso. She used to come to my studio, and I didn't know. #aware. All right, breathe in and out. Triangle pose, look down. Inhale, come back up to standing. Turn your left toes to the right 1/4 turn. Release your arms down by your side. Take them back behind your back, interlace your fingers. This time you don't need the strap and just fold forward. Send your head down, send your weight towards the balls of your feet. You might remember the song a little bit faster. Release your hands under your shoulders, lengthen your spine. Rotate, turn to the front of your mats. Keep your right hand down on the floor of the block. Take your left hand to your hip as you rotate to the left, and then stretch your left arm up. Good. One more breath, find a little more space. Exhale, release your hand to the floor. Send your left leg back to meet your right, downward facing dog. Soften the knees as much as you'd like or need to. Engage the arms nice and strong, pushing the heel of the hand down and forward to lift the hips up and chest down. Inhale onto your tippy toes as the knees lift, shift forward to a high plank. Bet you thought you were not going to have to do any of this today. Shift a little forward, bend your elbows and or knees. Roll up and through, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, float your right leg high in the sky. Exhale, send your right leg through. Turn yourself to the left side. Stay on the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, grab your block to the outside of your left foot, your back foot. Inhale, hands to your hips, rise up. Open your arms up shoulder height. Turn your left toes to the left, right toes about that 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Inhale, put your hands down if you want to feel the levelness of your hips. Inhale, bump your hips out, triangle pose, left side. Left arm down, right arm up. Imagine that your back is against a wall and you're leaning your shoulders and hips onto the wall. So finding our biggest space, our most length as you pull up the right arm, press down through the feet and rotate through the torso. Look down. Inhale, if you have a block, bring it with you, stand up. Switch hands on the block. Turn your left toes to the, now 10 o'clock on the clock. Right toes to the front. Inhale, arms out. Right hand holds the block. Reach out and place the block outside, inside, or your hand on your foot. shin, thigh, wherever you are. Feel the levelness. Length out of the crown of the head to the tailbone. One more breath. Good. As you exhale, look down. Bring your hands to the floor or the block. Left hand's going to stay. Right hand comes to the hip as you rotate open. And then the right arm comes all the way up. Back leg is firm. One more breath as you find a little more space. Exhale, look down, hands on the floor. Step back with your right leg, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise on your toes. Look forward, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Send yourself to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet are about hips width apart. Tuck your chin to your chest this time. And ragdoll up. Press down firmly through your feet to get yourself to standing. Roll the shoulders back and around. Good. Inhale, stretch your arms all the way up over your head. Palms facing each other. Bend your knees. Go into a low chair. It doesn't have to be too high. Sorry about that. Good. Lift your right heel off the floor. And then take your right leg, right ankle over the left knee. Bring your hands together in prayer. Sit down a little deeper. Level out your hips. Good. Let's stay upright for 5, 4. Just find a focal point that you can stay on. That's it. Figure 4 stretch. And 1, come back up, feet together on the floor. Actually separate them hips width apart. Fold over your legs, take your peace finger grip. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale, elbows out to the side, head down. Shift your weight forward to the balls of your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Perch your hands on your hips and rise up to stand. Good. All right. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, put the weight into the right leg and float the left leg off the floor. Left ankle over right knee. Open up the hip as much as you can. When you do that, be conscious of what's going on the standing leg, that you hug that hip in, that you don't scoop your tailbone, and arch your back here to get there. So maybe you even have to bring the leg lower. Bring your hands to prayer if you can. And then begin to send your right knee bend. Chest open, flex your left foot, find some strength. We're staying up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press down to rise up. Feet down, separate your feet, forward fold over your legs. Bend your knees as much as you'd like. Lift your toes up. Slide your hands underneath your feet. Wrap your big toe around your wrist. Look forward. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Head to the shins. Send the weight forward. Inhale with a halfway lift. Release your hands. Look forward. Bend your knees. Plant your palms and step to a downward dog. Hips up in the air. Send your feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift your right leg up and open your right hip out. Bend and stretch. Bring your right knee through the center. Step it all the way through. Turn your left foot on its side, back to that 10 o'clock on the clock. Heel to heel to instep alignment. Have a block outside of your right foot if you have a block. Inhale, reach your left arm up and open. Warrior 2 pose. Right knee in line with the hip, in line with the second, third toe. Thigh as close to parallel to the floor as you can. The back leg is firm. The pinky toe presses down. Big toe presses down. There's a little inner arch lifting. Breathe in, breathe out. Shoulders are over your hips and your torso faces the left side. Pull back a little more with your left arm for some stillness. Breathe. pull your shoulders over your hips. There's a lot going on here. And of course, there's energy in the arms. You can look in any direction. Inhale, left arm down, right arm up. Don't change your legs, lift out of your waistline. Maybe just bump your hips forward a little bit. Don't dump into your lower back. Breathe in, breathe out. Find that nice stretch on the right side of your body. And now let's take the arms forward, outside of the right foot on a block. Any height, you can shorten your back leg stance. Open your right knee towards your right arm. Thigh parallel, left arm on your hip first. Rotate your torso, and then sweep the arm up and overhead. Turn your thumb up to the sky. Open your heart up. Hug your hips in, tuck your tailbone underneath you. Inhale, side angle pose. It's a very challenging pose, right? On the outside of your hand. So if you want your arm on your thigh, that's available. One more breath. Exhale, look down at your right foot. Left hand comes on the inside. Right hand opens up to the side. Breathe, twist. Breathe in and out. Find the space. Exhale, lower the hand. Straighten your front leg. And step your left foot up about a foot or two. And your feet are still at least hips width apart. You still have the block on the outside. You can move it to the inside. Bring your hands to your hips. Rise up to standing. Shoulders over hips. Inhale, the arms come up. Good. Exhale, open your arms to a T. Rotate your torso to the right. Hug your right hip in. Hinge forward with your torso. Left hand inside, outside, foot, shin, or block. Right arm floats up eventually. Stacking your shoulders, hugging your hips. Weight should be kind of equal in both the front and back legs. If your arm overhead is just, it's not getting there, put it on your hip and rotate the torso. Boy, Daisy's really busy today. It's a busy dog day. All right, so twisted triangle pose, one more breath. Find as much space as you can. And then fold over your right leg. Bend your knee and put your forehead on your knee. Inhale, look forward. Step your left foot back, low lunge. Right leg meets it for a plank position and chaturanga. Upward dog, downward dog, hips up. Feet together, back of the mat. Inhale, lift your left leg up, open your left hip, bend and straighten a couple times. Exhale, bring your knee to the center and step it through. Good. Turn your right foot on its side. Windmill your arms open. Warrior two. Exhale. Breathe. Good. So same form. Knee in line with the hip. Knee over the second, third toe. Back foot firmly presses down both the big toe and the pinky toe and all in between. There's this, pressure into the outer edge of the right foot, but not rolling onto it. So it just lifts the inner arch of your right foot. And then reach your arms in two directions. Your gaze can be wherever you'd like. Shoulders over hips, so pull the right arm back a little bit more. Left thigh parallel to the floor. And that left knee is going to want to sneak into the middle. So just firm up your glutes or use your hand and gently guide it. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Inhale, right arm down, left arm up. Exhale, left hand reaches outside the left foot on the block, any height. Right hand to your hip, open up your torso. Inhale, stretch your right arm up and overhead. Palm down, but spin the thumb open. Rotate the torso open. Left thigh stays parallel to the floor. And we really just open up that side body. Inhale. One more breath. Exhale, right hand down. On the floor block, left hand opens up. Back leg is firm. Good, one more breath. I like the way you work it. Left hand down. Straighten your front leg and bring your back foot in a little bit closer, but not close to each other, but closer to the front. Left hand, block outside of the left foot still. If you want it there, bring your hands to your hips, rise up. So once you get up to standing, find some stability, right? You might have to shorten your stance, you might have to close it in or widen it. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, open the arms to a T, thumbs up. Rotate your torso to the left. Bump your torso forward, hips squaring together. Reach out and then rotate outside, inside, foot, shin, or block. Left hand to your hip first. It could stay there the whole time. Then the left arm comes up. Eye gaze, if it goes up, whoops, is the last thing that you do, right? Good. Big breath in, find a little bit more space. Exhale, fold over your bent left knee, put your forehead to your knee. Inhale, lengthen. Hands down, step back, plank pose. Find your way through chaturanga or just meet me in downward dog. Hips up in the air. Inhale onto your toes. Exhale, soften your knees, look forward, step to the top, halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rise up, stand up. Bring your hands to your heart. And then bring your hands to your hips. Send your weight to your left leg, lift your right leg up. And then figure four, stretch again. Bend your knees, keep your hands at your heart, just for a moment here. And then take your left hand to your hip and take your right fingertips to your big toe. Rise up, bring the leg with you. You can stay with a bent leg, or you can extend your right leg out to the side. And then you can take your right arm with you if you like. So the knee can be bent. The knee can be bent even if the leg is straight. Hug that hip, the standing hip in. Nice ET. Wow, you look like my daughter in dance. Good job, guys. Good. All right, now listen. Stay here. Let go of your foot. Release your hands to the floor. Left hand stays, right arm opens. Half moon pose. So, if you fall out of it, teachers fall out of it all the time. Here I am. If you fall out of it, you don't, just walk away from it. You just come back when you can. Breathe in, breathe out. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale, right hand down. Soften your left knee a little bit and float your right leg up. And then fold over, or you can take handstand hops. Whatever you'd like to do, hands on your foot. Today I'm going to let you have a little opening in that right leg, so you don't have to be straight, squared off hips. You can have a little opening, it'll get it a little higher, but that's not the goal necessarily. It's just to give you that space today. One more breath. Exhale, bring your feet together on the floor, hips squared, bend your knees, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, right hand behind your head, left arm behind your back. Inhale, lengthen, sit back a little bit deeper. Reach, reach, reach. Sink lower. Exhale, forward fold, separate your feet just about hips width apart. My hands don't touch, you can use the strap towel. And then let's just release the arms gently. If you have a strap, just let it go. Tuck your chin to your chest. Once again, we round up. Roll the shoulders back. And bring your hands to your heart center for a moment. Find some silence, some stillness. Open your eyes, hands on your hips. Shift your weight to your right leg, lift your left leg up, and flex the foot and come into your little figure four just for a moment. Doesn't have to be very deep. Bring your right hand to your hip. Left peace fingers around your left big toe. Start to bring yourself up with a bent knee. You know, if you have to let go, let go. And then if you've got the foot, good luck. Open up the hip to the left side, arm out. Laura could be Lauren and Lori. Yeah. Breathe. Good. Good. Gently let go. Try not to let it drop all the way to the floor, right? So let it go. Begin to spin yourself down to the floor. Right hand down on the floor block. Left hand first to your hip. Open up your torso. And then when the shoulders feel stacked, left arm comes up. Left leg presses back and around. Reach it away from you. Find length. And this is like triangle without the foot on the floor. So find all that work in your torso that you do in triangle. And we did a couple times today. One more breath. Exhale, spin it around to the floor. Right foot down, left hand, feet are on the hands are on the floor, excuse me. You can do your handstand hops. And today you can just have that leg a little bit more open. No hard and fast rule. Inhale. Exhale, feet to the floor, bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up, chair. Exhale, left arm behind your head. That feels really awkward for me. Right arm behind your back, so I know this is definitely my B side. Inhale. Sink a little deeper. Exhale with your hips. Inhale. Straighten your legs and fold. Exhale. Inhale, release your arms. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, step, take a vinyasa out of this. Chaturanga, upward dog. Downward dog. Good. Bring your right knee to the floor, in between the two sides. Turn your right toes to the left. Bring your left knee behind your right. Grab a block if you think that you'd like to sit on it. Grab your straps if you'd like to use them. And then sit down on the floor of the blocks. Knees stack on top of each other. Lifting yourself up on the block will definitely give you more levelness in your hips. Levelness in your hips. Sit up nice and tall. Good. Take your strap or your towel or your arms. Open the arms wide again. Yeah, we've done a lot of the cow face arms, so we're not going to do those right now. But we're going to turn our torso to the right side as the hips stay squared. And then lean back, right arm pulls down as the left arm stretches up. So the arms are straight, the shoulders are away from the ears. It's like a side bend with a little rotation. So you really got to be firm here. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, hinge forward. Release your strap in front of you, release your arms, but keep your hips to the floor. Good. Inhale, just stay low, but bring your knees to the floor, move your block off to the side if it's there. Tuck your toes underneath you, lift your hips in the air. Cross-legged downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Right leg is in front, walk over to your right side. Hug your hips towards the midline. Inhale to the center. Exhale, walk forward. Uncross your legs in downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left knee to the floor. Turn your left toes to the right. Right knee behind it. Have a seat on the floor or the blocks. Take your strap with you. Just don't sit on your heels. right? If you can sit on your heels, sit on a book, a block, pillows, right? Take your arms, open up your arms as wide or wider than the shoulders, like a giant V. Lengthen out of your torso, exhale, turn to your left side, and then lean a little bit to the left side without lifting your right hip up. Good. Inhale, slowly come up, then rotate forward. Exhale, fold forward, arms on the floor, release your straps, breathe. Inhale, roll over your shins, tuck your toes, cross-legged downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet and walk over to your left side. Hug your hips towards the midline. And then walk back to center, walk your hands out. Downward facing dog, separate your legs. Inhale, bring your knees to the floor, sit on your heels, child's pose. Release your arms by your side, palms face up. And take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Chin to chest, forehead to knee. Start to lift your hips up off the floor, off your heels, and reach your arms up away from your head and back. Now, there's no weight in your head here. So put some pressure into the top of your foot and shin so you have no weight in your head. And then make sure your forehead and knees stay connected. And scoop out your belly nice and strong. One more breath. Exhale, sit on your heels, release your arms. Chin to chest, roll slowly up. Send your legs off to either side. And then send your legs to the front of your mat. Lift up the flesh from side to side. Have your blocks nearby. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, flex your feet. Bring your chin down towards your chest. Keep your shoulders low. And then round your back, go backwards. And then bring your arms out shoulder height. So from the side, you look like a C with a low life. An extended C. Keep that action as you start to slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lower down. And then bring your knees to your chest. Open your arms to a T. Oh my goodness. Open your arms out, hips to the right, knees fall to the left, twist. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale, bring your hips to the left, knees fall to the right. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, hug your knees to your chest. Take your hands on the top of your foot shin, let your heels rest down, tilt your pelvis, and lift your hips in the air, bridge pose. Take a support if you'd like with your hands or the block. Inhale, release your upper mid, lower back to the floor. Draw your knees back up to your chest, take a happy baby. And then bring your legs together. Stretch them in the air, hands by your side or under your hips, and slowly lower your legs towards the floor. When the legs touch, forearms down, top of the head again, no weight on your head. Lift your heart open. Put pressure into your forearms to open up the chest, the shoulders, the back of your throat, or the front of your throat. Bring your chin to your chest. Lay back down on the floor, hug your knees back to your chest. Open the arms again. Send your hips to the right, knees to the left. Make it a little bit more, you can bring it higher towards your chest, or double bind or single bind for your last twist here. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, shift your hips left, knees fall to the right. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders, round your spine. And lay down and stretch your legs out in front of you if you have anything you'd like to take before you settle into your final Shavasana. Take it now. If you're doing something on one side, make sure you do two sides. Begin to let go of all physicality, all thoughts, distractions. Let your body just surrender into the earth. Stay home, stay fit, stay healthy, Shavasana.